Hi, I am Galactic Ashley. Welcome to the March 2025 Energy Update. I am a channel. I specialize in trauma-informed integration support for ayahuasca, master plant dietas, wachuma, kambo, and cacao. I am a spiritual guide helping others forge meaningful connections with the divine. My greatest joy is supporting seekers ready to commit to their journey of healing and growth and whom desire to live their unique path. I offer this through entheogenic and spiritual integration coaching, channeling and light language mentorship, telepathy support for parents, biannual courses, and personalized one-on-one channeled sessions. You can find out more about me at galacticashley.com. Something to note: I often refer and reference the beings when I am speaking. The energies I work with and have spent my life cultivating an intimate relationship with are facets of the divine. These include the dragon consciousness, my ascended ancestors, the plant medicine consciousness, and star beings. Most of the time, this is sufficient. If a specific energy chooses to reveal itself, it will. For the most part, referring to them simply as the beings is enough. Personally, I often use the term God, but you are free to interpret it in a way that resonates with you, whether that's the universe, source, or the divine. So, let's get on to what is in store for this month. The equinox serves as this month's central energy, offering a powerful opportunity for reflection and alignment. More than just an astronomical event, it is a significant energetic marker, a gateway we have been steadily approaching over the past few months. Positioned as the midpoint between the solstices, the equinox symbolizes balance, the quiet stillness of winter and the radiant light of summer. It invites us to explore the duality of existence, the interplay between darkness and light, the underworld and the solar world. This moment asks us to hold both energies in harmony, embracing the teachings of equilibrium. The equinox is a vital reminder of what it means to be human. At its heart, the human experience is a journey of balance, finding harmony amidst the chaos. We live in a universe defined by dualities where polarity breeds disorder. Yet it is from this very chaos that creation is born. This is the essence of existence. The divine is present in both light and shadow, in moments of joy and hardship, in those who inspire us, and even in those who challenge us and make us crazy. Each experience acts as a mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves we may have ignored, suppressed, judged, and demonized. These shadow aspects of ourself, whether they whisper quietly or scream for attention, yearn to be witnessed and embraced. It is through self-exploration and acceptance that we bring these hidden pieces into the light, restoring a sense of balance within ourselves. And the equinox is a sacred threshold, a moment of profound significance that calls us to pause and to reflect on the balance within our own lives. It is not merely an astronomical event, but a spiritual gateway, a time when the cosmic forces of light and darkness are held in perfect harmony. This balance mirrors the journey of the human spirit, constantly walking the fine line between chaos and order, shadow and light. The equinox reminds us of the divine rhythm of life, the eternal dance of opposites that shapes our existence. This is a sacred opportunity to find inner peace, to breathe deeply, and recognize that challenges will always exist, but so will beauty. No matter the circumstances, there is always something worth appreciating, even if it is as simple as the fact that we are still breathing. The state you want to move into, the place where you want to live, is one of gratitude. True Gratitude, in its deepest sense, means you are not afraid of abundance. You are not afraid to embrace the physical world. You welcome love or intimacy into your life. You are not fearful of being in your body. You are dedicated to doing the work to be in your body. And for some of us, like myself, this is a lifetime discipline and requires dedication. It means recognizing that all these things, abundance, love, connection, are in fact reflections of the divine. When you live in gratitude, it becomes a practice and a discipline. You begin to see your life and say, yeah, this is perfect. Not, well, I'll make the best of it. You shift your perspective. You stop saying, I'll make the best of it, and instead declare, the best is here, and I will bring my best to it. But make no mistake, gratitude is a discipline, and it is not always easy. There will be mornings when you wake up and don't feel grateful. In fact, you might not feel anything. Perhaps you're overwhelmed, lonely, frightened, or buried under a gray sky that mirrors your mood. Or even worse, it's a bright sunny day and you still feel depressed. Those are the moments when gratitude truly counts. Being grateful when life is abundant and easy is not the challenge. It's when life feels empty that gratitude becomes transformative. It's in those moments that gratitude requires us to bring wealth to our poverty, not material wealth, but the riches of attitude. It asks us to bring love into our lives even when we don't feel love. We must generate it ourselves instead of waiting for love to find us. So do something loving even when it feels absent. The beings have been encouraging me to focus on cultivating happiness and delight, even during what I refer to as a period of deep spiritual depression. They are guiding me to actively create delight, which often means engaging in activities that at first feel meaningless or fail to spark joy because it feels like I can barely pick myself up off the floor. For instance, I might take my dogs, Mahana and Mayu, to the park or play the didgeridoo, things that usually lift my spirits, but they aren't, and I still feel nothing. Sometimes gratitude and joy feel more like a discipline, a conscious effort rather than a natural state. But ultimately, we are responsible for our own well being, and these small acts can help because eventually they'll restore a sense of lightness even in the emptiest of times. Yes, it can feel challenging to walk through life intimately with the divine, but it is far harder to walk throughout it without the divine. The journey of gratitude is one of seeing every day the beauty and the meaning in the world, even during the hard moments when you find yourself asking, how am I going to get through this? Gratitude becomes the response. It is not just a feeling, but a choice, a profound practice that transforms how we meet life's challenges. True gratitude lies in honoring both the grit and the gift of aliveness, the privilege of being here, of experiencing life in its fullness, because it is a privilege to be here. The equinox reminds us to give ourselves permission to be present, to embrace the moment, and to do our best. That is enough. Living with gratitude and balance is not about eliminating chaos, but about finding harmony within it. This is the essence of being human, breathing through it all, holding both the light and the dark, and remembering that we are here to live, to learn, and to grow. The energy of the ocean came in last night and reminded me of what it means to breathe, to allow the energy of the breath of the ocean to fill you and to invite the energy of salt into the body. Sometimes we find ourselves in places of darkness, overwhelmed by frustration, anger, or emotional numbness, feeling as though we're merely existing rather than truly living. Often this occurs when life is asking us to let go of certain parts of ourselves. Some of you may be experiencing what is known as the dark night of the soul. a period of profound spiritual depression. And it is not merely a period of despair or sadness, but a profound spiritual passage that strips away illusions and attachments, forcing us to confront the deepest truths of our being. This experience is a form of spiritual initiation where the soul is called to surrender its ego, driven desires, and align more fully with divine purpose. It is a time when the familiar structures of life, whether relationships, careers, or identities, may fall away, leaving one feeling lost and untethered. However, this darkness is not a punishment, but an invitation to awaken. It is something that I have learned to be grateful for when it comes. I have taken it as a sign that I am on my path. It is a process that leads to profound inner healing and spiritual clarity, guiding us towards a renewed connection with the divine and a deeper understanding of our soul's path. During this time, emotions like grief and sadness dominate, while joy and fulfillment seem unreachable. We feel the absence of God, the absence of self. You might even continue with your usual routines, yet feel no joy or connection to them. This experience can signify that parts of your identity or ego are dissolving, paving the way for transformation. I found that when I am in the dark nights, I am being asked not only to die, but to be patient and to endure. When you emerge on the other side of this process, and you eventually will, you may realize that the way you lived before wasn't truly alive in the fullest sense. As you shed old patterns and attachments, you step into a new level of existence, a deeper, more authentic aliveness. So much so that you can't even believe how much you were not really even living before. But letting go is challenging, especially when it involves aspects of ourselves that we have anchored our identity to. Ask yourself, what if you could let go? How might your life transform if you released the attachments that hold you back? How wonderful could your life be if you let go? This question becomes especially powerful when we consider the aspects of our identity that we've tied to roles, labels, or abilities, those things we believe define us. Consider how often we entwine our sense of self with action or accomplishment. I am an artist. I am a parent. I am good at fill in the blank. When our ego becomes overly fixated on what we do, life has a way of challenging these attachments. It may strip away the roles we've clung to, forcing us to face a deeper, more unsettling question. Who am I now? If I can no longer do this thing I've identified with, then who am I? In fact, who are we? A soul inquiry question that I hold dear is this: who am I if no one else exists? Without anyone to compare myself to, without the mirror of others' opinions or expectations, who am I truly? Every human being is alive at this moment for a reason, and a significant part of life's journey lies in uncovering that purpose. True purpose flows naturally when we allow it, free from the distortions of ego or over-identification. How we express our purpose is uniquely ours, designed to emerge in alignment with who we are. Your responsibility is to embrace your purpose and to commit to it with discipline, with devotion, with creating the space for it to manifest fully through you. For instance, if your purpose is to bring something into the world through music, you must devote yourself to honing your craft, to achieving a level of mastery that allows you to co-create and share your gift. Purpose requires partnership. You must meet the universe halfway. The journey of discovering your purpose can be both transformative and deeply challenging. It often forces us to confront paradoxes, opposites, and the inner obstacles that block divine expression. Yet through this process, we grow closer to the essence of why we are here. Grief, by its nature, isn't meant to comfort us. It's meant to make us feel profoundly alive. Being fully alive doesn't mean chasing constant happiness. It means embracing the full spectrum of the human experience. One undeniable truth of life is this: everything we love, we will one day lose. This is one of life's deepest paradoxes, unavoidable and ever present, continuously challenging us to confront it. The question is, will you allow yourself the profound privilege of loving someone or something so deeply that you are willing to endure the inevitable pain of separation, of losing it? Life invites us to experience it all: joy and sorrow, love and loss, and everything in between. To be intimate with the divine or to believe oneself spiritually elevated does not mean life becomes effortless or void of hardship. There's a common misconception that seeking the divine is a way of escaping life's chaos, as if spirituality is a means to fix problems or insulate ourselves from pain. In truth, intimacy with the divine, as I understand it and as I experience it, is about cultivating an inner harmony that gives us the strength to face life's challenges, knowing that the divine is always present and always in communion with us. This connection doesn't erase hardships or magically simplify existence. In fact, my experience has often proved the opposite. The voice of the divine rarely offers the comfort of what we want to hear. Instead, it delivers the truth we need to hear. And at the heart of those truths lies one constant: change. Change upon change upon change upon change, unceasing, inevitable, and transformative, because life itself is a relentless flow of transformation. This month offers a wonderful opportunity for reflection and preparation. As the March equinox approaches, a moment when day and night are perfectly balanced, we find ourselves at a threshold of transformation. For those in the northern hemisphere, it signifies the arrival of spring. For those in the south, it marks the transition into fall. The equinox represents balance, a meeting point between light and dark, beginnings and endings. Transformation often takes roots in these liminal spaces where we exist not fully in one place or the other, but somewhere in between. Liminal spaces are the transitional moments in life where we move from one frequency, stage, or version of ourselves to another. These spaces are sacred. They are brimming with potential and purpose. In these in-between moments, the ordinary recedes, inviting us to dive into deep self-reflection and transformation. Here we are called to connect with our soul's essence, explore the unknown, and embrace the spiritual growth that awaits us. Change is inherently challenging for most of us. Standing in these transitional spaces can feel uncomfortable, yet they are powerful catalysts for growth. This is a time to ask yourself, am I ready to embrace abundance? Am I open to building deeper intimacy with the human and non-human worlds? Am I prepared to create a life based on divine order and divine timing versus one based on human order and human logic? Most importantly, what drives my desire? The beings have taught me to always invite in the divine grace of what they call purity of motivation. It is something that I orient my action towards all of the time. And this season invites us to examine the roots of our motivation, for transformation is fueled by authenticity, and alignment holds the greatest power for co-creation. Use this time to reflect deeply, for within the liminal lies the potential for extraordinary growth and renewal. As we move through this season of balance and transition, consider the beauty of standing in the middle of opposites. Within this center, the space between light and dark, beginnings and endings, is where tension and creating and magic happens. We often cling to the familiar, simply because it feels safe. Yet letting go requires us to face the unknown, a challenge that can be deeply uncomfortable. In these moments, we are called to develop spiritual endurance and resilience. The idea of creating your own reality is often misunderstood, with many overlooking a vital truth. Our unconscious mind is always a part of that creation. It subtly shapes, and maybe sometimes not so subtly, shapes and influences what our conscious mind strives to build. This is why self-reflection is so important. By turning inward, we can uncover the belief systems that drive us, especially the ones rooted in self-deception. As humans, we possess an extraordinary capacity for self-deception, sometimes without even realizing it, yet more often than not, we are fully aware when we are lying to ourselves. Let's be honest, there's no point in pretending otherwise. The first step is to pay close attention to how you might be dishonest with yourself. Ask, what lies am I telling myself today? And write them down. As you start to recognize these moments, it becomes easier to separate truth from falsehood, not just within yourself, but in the world around you. This practice is vital because one of the most valuable skills we can cultivate is discernment, the ability to identify what is true for us and what is not. The dragons have long emphasized the importance of discernment, encouraging us to approach it not with fear, but with intuition, deep awareness, and an open, expansive mindset. Discernment, as they say, it is your full-time job. One of the most effective ways to sharpen discernment is by recognizing the moments when you deceive yourself. Instead of judging these instances, approach them with understanding. Self-deception, often intertwined with self-abandonment, frequently stems from the wounded or shamed parts of ourselves, seeking to shield us during difficulties. By meeting these parts with compassionate curiosity, we not only begin to heal and shift our internal landscape, but also enhance our ability to distinguish truth from falsehood in the world around us. As we advance into the age of artificial intelligence, practicing discernment has never been more essential. AI is a double-edged sword, an incredible catalyst for creativity and innovation, yet capable of unsettling complexity, often blurring the line between what is real and what is fake. It's important to remember that AI is not an independent consciousness. Rather, it reflects the collective input of its creators, which is us. How we engage with it and the intentions behind our use contribute to its evolution. In this era of information overload, the ability to discern truth becomes increasingly critical. We are constantly faced with the questions: is this news legitimate? Who created this content? Who conducted these studies? Is this video authentic, or was it AI generated? Even in our personal lives, we must pause to ask, are the stories we hear or the ones we tell ourselves actually fully true? Most of what we encounter in life is a blend of truth and falsehood. It's up to us to determine what's real and what isn't. One of the most effective ways to sharpen this skill, again, is through self-reflection, specifically by examining the way that we lie to ourselves. What false narratives are shaping your reality? How are they holding you back? Take a moment to explore these stories. Grab a notebook and write down every lie, whether big or small. These lies often are rooted in fear, past trauma, or simply misunderstandings. They begin to weave themselves into the fabric of your life. Ask yourself, which of these narratives no longer serves you? And more importantly, how can you begin to rewrite them? Self-awareness is the key to this process. Some of these stories originate in pain, while others are born of fear or lack of knowledge. But no matter their origin, uncovering and rewriting these narratives will empower you to align more closely with your truth and navigate the world with greater clarity and trust. Ultimately, we have lost touch with the power of oral traditions, the arts of gathering in community and preserving history through languages that are fading with each passing day. When a language disappears, we lose the stories, the wisdom, and the soul of an entire culture. But what languages live within you? Each of us carries a sacred ecosystem, a unique blend of spiritual, emotional, physical, and cosmic energies. Just as we must care for our inner ecology, we are also responsible for nurturing the relationships, both human and non human, that sustain the larger ecology of the world around us. By connecting deeply with time, space, direction, and the elements, we attune our bodies to the miracles unfolding all around us. This month, the energy of water is especially present. Our water bodies, both internal and external, call for care and attention. Water, a fluid force of connection and liminality, flows naturally, seeking boundaries, yet refusing confinement. Think of the shoreline where the earth meets water. It's a space of transition, a liminal zone where balance is found. Alongside water, the energy of fire is also prominent this month, balancing these two forces. Fire's intensity and water's fluidity can create harmony. A stone like Larimar can serve as a supportive tool in achieving this balance. There's a profound sense of self mastery that comes from aligning these two elemental forces, fire and water, in perfect harmony and having a real understanding of what they are. Larimar is most powerful at managing fire and water energies and is an incredible ally at working with both water and fire energy as it is born from volcanic activity. It acts as a balancer of water and fire energies in both the physical and emotional bodies, being one of the few stones that embodies these particular polarities. Additionally, it supports personal growth by encouraging the ego to release fears and move beyond limitations, fostering a sense of inner calm and transformation. The consciousness of Larimar is an incredible ally for March energies. We are currently experiencing heightened geomagnetic activity, with solar flares bringing a surge of transformative fire energy into our lives. This energy promotes clarity, but true clarity requires us to first confront ourselves with honesty. Where might we be deceiving ourselves, even in small, seemingly insignificant ways? Are these self deceptions born from a desire for protection, a fear of vulnerability, or an unwillingness to stand fully in our truth? Now is the time for honest communication, not only with others, but also with ourselves. The way we speak to ourselves, whether with authenticity or self delusion, shapes who we are. Just as water takes the shape of its container, we are molded by the words and truths we choose to accept. Water is a powerful force capable of healing or destroying. It symbolizes life, transformation, and even death. We exist on a planet defined by water, with bodies that largely mirror its composition. Without it, life is impossible. As we navigate the challenges of this transformative era, we are being called to discern truth from illusion, to create with authenticity, and to build communities and systems grounded in reciprocity and in sacred balance. We are being called to create from a place of love and joy, to build structures that break free from outdated paradigms and instead embody connection, balance, and creative expression. Chaos, much like divinity, serves as a powerful catalyst for creation. It is through the tension between structure and destruction, grief and joy, darkness and light, that new possibilities emerge. Just as the ocean alternates between calm and stormy days, we must learn to find beauty in both clarity and turbulence, to embrace the storms as much as we celebrate the stillness. In these transformative times, we are invited to cultivate spiritual resilience, spiritual endurance, blending mysticism with modernity, and discovering the extraordinary in the everyday. Life itself is a living ceremony, with our relationships forming some of the most profound rituals we will ever experience. We are being asked to integrate, to uncover the sacred in the ordinary, to harmonize the psychic with the psychological, and to navigate the ever-changing tides of existence with grace and balance. And oh, by the way, none of this is easy, but I do believe that it's going to be okay. As I navigate challenging times, I always sit with my ancestors and remember this message. We imagine the sky and the sea as both boundless and eternal to our ancestors. For how the people lived and connected with one another was determined by how well they understood and could be in oneness with these two elements. This immense space of sea and sky was and continues to be the known world of the Polynesian. For we are the wayfinders. Our view of the world is unique. It is as broad and deep as it is high, and unlike those who come from continents or large bodies of land, we see a world as limitless and liminal. The people of Polynesia carefully and meticulously recorded their lineage, thus establishing and strengthening their links with the earth, the sky, the gods, the heavenly realms, and each other. Our ancestors have an exquisite mastery of liminal spaces, inviting each one of us to consider ourselves as a hybrid, on the path of no arrival in the indefinite always becoming. Just as the sea is an open and ever-flowing reality, so should our oceanic identity transcend all forms of insularity to become one that is openly searching, curious, inventive, and welcoming. So please, as you move through these intense energies of water, fire, and paradox, always do your best to remain openly searching, curious, inventive, and welcoming. I'm excited to announce the launch of my Patreon community on March 3rd. This space will be a dedicated container for engaging with monthly energy updates and exploring monthly themes in depth. Each week, we'll dive into these insights, unpacking topics like the energy of Larimar, for example, the fire and the water frequencies, navigating liminal spaces, and confronting how we deceive ourselves or engage in self-abandonment. This community is an invitation into the sacred ecology of Galactic Ashley, a space I've been guided to open, nurture, and cultivate. It's designed to be a supportive, safe environment where we can grow together and connect meaningfully. I look forward to building this sacred space with you. Additionally, the 10-week light language activation and healing program starts this month. Now in its 6th year, this live online program continues to grow and evolve with each year that passes. Join us every Wednesday evening from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time, running from March 19th to May 21st, 2025. This year's program features 2 inspiring guest speakers, and this cohort is already infused with beautiful, uplifting energy. It's open to everyone, whether you're discovering light language for the first time or already are expressing it. This experience invites you to explore and deepen your connection. So go ahead and visit galacticashley.com for more details and to register today. And with that, we thank you and say, as we always close, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we love you, we love you, we love you. Bye.